Whatever you do, just stay true and show passion. When you talk, be precise.
I took a flight for the paddock. You said, babe, you're so dramatic. I guess anything you want, boy, forget it. You just make me feel.
Okay, let's go. I decided to come to the park just to shoot this video outside that we have a different setting. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Welcome back. It's your Ghost of Republic. Welcome back to another video. So, like it says in the title below, this is legitimately how I quit a toxic job, like a recent job that I left. So to begin this little story time, I gotta give you guys like a little background of everything. So it was around the end of 2023 when I left a previous toxic job. Um, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I'm leaving. I will not be, you know, in a place where I don't feel like where I'm just gonna be manipulated and taken advantage of. If you hear kids in the background, I'm in a park, but nevertheless. So around 2023, I actually early 2020, yeah, around 2023, like December, January, December 2023, January 2024, I bumped into a primary school friend because I was job hunting at the time, and she was like, "Hey, I'm leaving to Vietnam. There's a job thingy, whatever. Just let me know. I'll hook you up." And I was like, "I sharp." So, and I was also still waiting for a response from another company. I should have waited for a response from that company because God, I just told myself I don't want to work weekends. And the other job was offering more pay, but I would be working weekends. Nevertheless, I took the first offer without waiting for a response from the second offer. Cool, I took the offer. And then I got accepted with a very low, disgusting salary. But I was just like, I had nothing for a couple of months and I just needed something to, like, keep me busy. And also, I had to, like, bills to pay and stuff like that. But this was a disgusting salary. Cool beans. We enter the work environment. It is basically for slash slightly corporate, but not exactly what you would call corporate. But it was for an immigration agency, right? It was for an immigration agency, and I was just like, okay, this is something new. I had to do an administration. The job description was administration. Let's just put it there. The job description was administration. I've never done admin in my life before. Okay, never done admin in my life before. I was like, okay, new role. I'm gonna get training. I was told I was gonna get training. There wasn't much to do and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, fine. 1 month, like not even 1 month, come in. First day of work, this guy comes in early. He comes into what I think is early. Like I clock in at 9. This dude clocks in at 10. Cool. Clock in at 10. I'm like, okay, fine. This was only for 3 consecutive days. 3 days did this dude come in 10 o'clock, right? Come in 10 o'clock. Next week, this dude start coming in 1 o'clock. I take nothing to it, and then I'm like, but still, I'm not getting any training of what needs to be done. I still have to, I'm the one initiating, hey, what needs to be done here, what needs to be done there. But it was just packing files in the meantime. I was just packing files, and I was like, okay, cool with it, no big deal. Now, come in at least like 3 weeks into the job, I'm just like, what did I sign up for? I kid you not, 3 weeks into the job, I'm like, what did I sign up for? I give it the benefit of the doubt because I wasn't getting any training whatsoever. I continuously had to initiate the tasks that I had to do. 3 months down the line, I'm just like, fuck no. Excuse my French. I'm in a new job. I haven't been trained. I'm still initiating. I'm the one initiating tasks to do for my so-called boss. That's supposed to like teach me the ropes. And then I ended up doing things that are out of my job description because, as far as I know, the job description was just administration. I was just like, this is not it. But the nice thing about it was that I got to meet people from different, backgrounds, different countries, and I got to connect with other fellow agents in the industry, either working there long term, short term. I'm a newbie. I'm new to this shit. I'm dressing nice 3 months in. 4 months into this job, I'm like, first of all, for the pay that I'm getting, this is not it. I asked for a raise. I'm like, I bring up the fact that I could get a raise. Hey, um, can we bump up the salary because I'm now starting to do work that is out of my description? And the responses I get is like, oh, you knew what the salary was. And I said, yes. And in our interview, you stated that it's open to salary increase, or we're open to commission, whatnot. And it seems like every time I bring this up, because I brought it up twice, every time I bring this up, you avoid the question overall. Come, this one says, oh, okay, cool. And I'm just like, yo, what in the hell? What in the hell? No salary increase? Chai. I start looking for other jobs. This is 6 months in. I start looking for other jobs. 6 months in, I start looking for other jobs. And I'm just like, I tell my mom, I'm like, Ma, this is not it. My mom's like, hang in there. Remember, you paid for a job, you were looking at it. Nah, I was like, this dude don't want to give me more money for the work that I'm doing. Okay. And I'm working overtime and he doesn't want to pay me overtime. So I stopped doing overtime. If it was time to go home, it was time to go home, because he had a habit of every time it was time for me to go home. I was only working 9 to 3, so he had a habit of every time it was time to go home, he would give me an influx of tasks to do. So the workplace would become toxic, and then I started slowing down. Now my friend calls me. She calls me. She tries to check in. Hey girl, how's the job going? How's everything? What? I'm like, girl, what the fuck? She was like, I didn't want to tell you. I was like, what do you mean you didn't want to tell me? She was like, I didn't want to tell you because I wanted you to see for yourself if it was an environment you were going to be okay with. Because this dude is hella passive aggressive. Passive aggressive. And then also, he didn't want me to be in contact with the actual owner of the company, the actual boss. Those managers that like to act like they're the boss of the company. When. That was the type of person that I was dealing with. Cool, fine. One day, now I cannot get a hold of this guy. Okay? I've never done a specific type of visa type for a client. I cannot get a hold of this guy. I'm calling him from the landline. I'm calling him from my phone. Nobody can get a hold of this guy. Bear in mind, this person's visa is expiring tomorrow. And the agency that brought them to us is ringing the fucking phone on some, where's ABC? Where's ABC? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm new here. I've never done this before. I phone the actual boss and I'm like, hey, I cannot be seem to be getting through to ABC. We'll call him Damon. I'm like, hey, I cannot seem to be getting through to Damon. Um his phone is not picking up. I called from my phone like 16 times. I called from the landline like 16 times. Nothing is getting through. Other people are trying to get reaching him for a client whose stuff is due, whose stuff is expiring tomorrow. And the other agency is just like unprofessionalism. Where. My boss is like, fuck. Do you know how? I'm like, no! I haven't been taught to do most of the things for the past couple of months. What do you mean? He was like, fuck. I'm just like, we were both like, fuck, okay, we try. My boss tried, like, now this is my actual boss. No? Now, my boss will call him Richard. Now, Richard is just like, let me try and get a hold of him. Richard tries to ring this man 15 times. He's not getting a hold of him. Okay, then Richard reaches out to the agency on time, like, hey, I'll have everything sorted out and sent unto you for the client, but tomorrow morning, and you won't have to worry about da da da. He reaches out to the agency, what. Come tomorrow, Richard sets everything out. This dude comes into the office. This dude Damon comes into the office the next day on some 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bear in mind, on some, oh, my phone was broken, nigga. Your phone was broken. You knew a client's things were finishing the next, like today, and you had no other sort of way of even trying to phone into the office to say ABC. That's lack of accountability and very poor management. And this is me telling him straight, that's poor management on your end. And the fact that you couldn't even phone my phone number or even the office's phone number through your landline, or even try and contact um, Richard to say this is the case, is problematic. That's when I knew. That is when I knew it's only going to go down from here. And it only went down from there. So as it went on, it came to a point where this dude, like, Damon would not come to work for a few days, but he wouldn't say he's not coming to work for a few days. He's working remotely, right? And he would not communicate effectively and then start saying, oh no, but I told you this. So I had to start recording everything, documenting every single thing, recording, saying, like, backtracking to a point where it was like, yo, to a point where it was like so bad that I started quiet quitting. So I started quiet quitting. Before I started quiet quitting, I got another job, which is the job that I currently have now, which I work nights, right? Okay, fine. Now I'm working two jobs. I leave the one job, I'm coming home to the next job back to back, like 16-hour shifts. Wake up, I barely had a life. I barely had a life. And things were just like shit. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm so tired. The last 6 months was me just quiet quitting. I started giving this guy silent treatment. Every time he would try and say something that he didn't say, try and say something that he said, but would return and say like he said something else, I would screenshot and say, no, but this is what you said. No, this is when you said that, for when this is due. And he got so upset. Bear in mind, this dude is fucking lazy, hey? This dude is lazy as shit. I'm literally looking back and I'm just like, wow. God puts you in situations, eh? God puts you sometimes in situations you would never experience yourself being in. I would never experience myself being in. I really thought it was a good job. It was a great environment. But the person that I was working for was absolutely toxic and lazy, to the point where I didn't want to work in that environment anyway. Cool. So I started quiet quitting. I started doing work more slower. I started becoming just super slow. When you'd come into the office, it would just be morning, no conversation. This, and this is done. Everything that you need on the board. This is due for then, this is due for that. But what he would do, he would still try and sabotage me with like last minute applications and things like that. And there was a time where I was just like, fuck it. It was 3 months before I left, right? Which is this year. Is like, he's telling clients, hey, you have an application due today. Your submission is due today. Beep, 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 boop. I did this application 3 weeks ago. What do you mean you're telling the client only today that they need to submit the application today? And I told you on the Monday, please notify the clients, or please remind me to notify the clients to so and so and so. Actually, no, please notify the clients at so and so, because I never had contact with the clients, and some of the clients' emails I never had them. I'm not even gonna lie. Some of the clients' emails, I never had them. Some of the clients' emails were even old. So he would get upset for the fact that um emails are not there. Oh, you've been CC'd and I'm searching. There's no CC of me there. Please refer. Can you send me the fucking client's email? Send me the client's email. And it happened to multiple times where like even clients started the beginning of the year actually, one of our biggest corporate clients dropped, right? And they were just like the beginning of the year. We'll be moving forward with another company. We cannot deal with the lack of professionalism we've received from so and so and so. We'll be moving forward with another company. Boop. That's when I knew. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. And I should have left sooner. My mom was like, no, stay. I was like, bitch, no. But not like literally. I was just like, bitch, no. You come and work here and see what it's like to work for somebody like this. Like parents, like, I don't think some parents like know the type of things we go through in some companies. Hey, I was like, hell no, I'm not staying there any longer. I'm leaving. I got another job. I don't give a fuck. I'm secure. I got another job. Clients started leaving. Clients started leaving. Clients started leaving due to the lack of his professionalism. Bear in mind, I'm doing my best to hold this company together that doesn't want to give me a fucking raise, ignoring the clients that I brought in. I don't even want to get into his emotional. It just makes me upset. Speaking about this man makes me really upset. But I quiet quit and I made the environment toxic for him. So I basically just started Una reversing. He made the environment very toxic for me to work in, to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm not nice. I am not a nice girl. You think I'm sweet? No, I'm not sweet. So he started coming to the office and it would just be good morning, silence. I go on lunch. I come back from my lunch and work, go home. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And then he asked me one day, oh, is there anything? I'm like, nope. Is there something you want to speak about? You want to address? Can I have, like, I would literally be like, just nope. Send it to me via email, please. And if we could have communication via this and via that, that would be much more preferred. I don't want to be contacted. Like, it took him 8 months to get a work phone because I didn't want to have literally 8 months to get a work phone. 8 months to get a work phone. 10 months to get a new laptop. 10 months to get a new laptop that the previous 3 girls that were working before me had. This laptop couldn't even get into, like, you couldn't even set the printing settings on this laptop. That's how old that laptop was. Let me tell you that. It took a year for him to actually get a new printer. It took a year for him to realize that, oh shit, you're not gonna get somebody that works as hard as me. Yeah, the week before I left, I told him, hey, I got another job offer. Friday's my last day. I was gonna tell him on the very last day, on the Friday, that today's my last day. I was forced to be nice. I was forced to be nice. On the Friday, did he not have my replacement? I kid you not. This dude had my replacement on the Friday. I told the girl, look, good luck. Good luck. I think that was like one of the best ways I actually quit an environment that went so toxic because I could care less. One thing about me, I will leave. Any signs that the longevity is not here, any signs of toxicity, I'm gone. Any signs of, oh, unfair treatments, there's just not going to be any sort of cooperation here, I'm gone. So yeah, that's actually how I left a toxic job. And if you want to hear more story times, please do let me know. I'm not the best. I'm constantly checking behind me because I live in a sketchy neighborhood. Okay, if you do want to hear more story times, do let me know in the comment sections down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry that this was a very all over the place type of video, but yeah, I needed to get this off my chest. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.